This is One on One.
Welcome back to One on One with Steve Adubato at the Newark Museum. I'm Joanna Gagis, sitting in for Steve Adubato. I'm joined right now by Bob Doherty, who's the New Jersey State President of Bank of America. Bob, welcome.
Thank you, Joanna.
We are here at the beautiful Newark Museum talking about art from many different perspectives. Let's talk about Bank of America's role in supporting the arts in the Newark community.
Sure, absolutely. Well, I'm so glad we're doing this here, by the way, because it's one of my favorite places in New Jersey, and probably my, if not the New Jersey Performing Arts Center, then the Newark Museum is my favorite also. I'm on both those boards, and we're really supportive of it. And
conveniently both located right here in Newark, New Jersey.
That's right. And part of the reason I got involved in those is because of Bank of America. Actually, most of the reason I got involved in those is Bank of America, because Bank of America has a corporate philosophy of really giving back to the communities in which we're doing business. Most of that support, or much of that support, focuses on basic needs like food and housing and job creation, but they also realize to a great extent how important the arts are to communities for revitalization, for driving economic development, for improving the cultural and the lives of our customers.
Why is it important that corporations, that the corporate community support the arts? I mean, why is, you could easily go about your day and leave it to others, but why do you feel that that is something that corporations should take on as a responsibility?
Well, that's kind of a difficult question, because we're hopeful that a lot of the community in general also supports the arts, but we feel that not everybody can do it on their own, and we play an important role doing that, and we are successful when the communities in which we're doing business are successful, and so we want to give that back to places like Newark.
So there are a lot of programs that you've started, that Bank of America has started. One of them is Museums on Us, and that's actually a national initiative.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. What is it?
Sure. With the Museums on Us, we give free admission to anybody who's a Bank of America customer. So if you're a card holder, you walk in the first weekend of the month and you get free admission to a number of institutions nationwide. In New Jersey here, I think we have Museums on Us for 8 different institutions, and the Newark Museum being one of them. Also Liberty Science Center, the Wheaton Arts Center. There are so many places that are great cultural institutions that we give free access to for our customers.
The Montclair Art Museum is another one.
Art Museum is a huge one, yes.
Morris Museum.
Absolutely.
And in Oceanville, the Noyes Museum, if I'm saying that right?
The Noyes Museum,
The Noyes Museum of Art of Stockton University.
That's right.
So all across the state.
All across the state. Because our customers are all across the state, and so we're doing business from border to border, and we want to support as much as we can.
Art in our communities. What is that program?
Well, you know, Bank of America over the years is a consolidation of so many different institutions that date back hundreds of years, local banks that rolled up into Bank of America, and many times those institutions had their own corporate art collections. So Bank of America ended up, when we pulled the whole institution together, with a very large corporate art collection, and we thought that rather than having it be static and sit in a gallery somewhere, we'd actually create exhibitions that go on the road. And about 12 times a year, we send different exhibitions out to museums or cultural institutions that are in our communities.
Many museums are nonprofits, right?
Absolutely.
So the ability to afford the art, or the ability to be self-sustaining, is really a challenge, especially in this economic climate, right?
Absolutely.
So to have that kind of corporate partnership where you're helping to provide beauty and exhibitions that people are going to want to come out and support the museum to see.
It costs a lot of money for a museum to put on an exhibition. It goes a long way to helping them meet their obligations from of what they want to put on their calendar.
Shakespeare Theater of New Jersey down in Madison, New Jersey. What is that? And what is the impact on the community that program has?
The Shakespeare Theater is a real gem that a lot of people don't know about in the state. And it's a performing arts center for Shakespearean works. We support it by supporting some of the shows that they put on. If you've never been to a live performance of Shakespeare, I highly recommend it. It's really fun.
It's not just the art, it's also feeding the community that Bank of America is committed to. And local food banks, through the Give a Meal program, you've gotten involved and actually had your team come out, and one day in December you actually took part as a company in this program. So what is the Give a Meal program?
So Give a Meal is actually Through the National Give a Meal organization, the bank matches 2 for 1 for donations that are made to Give a Meal, and then you're able to designate your local food banks. So here in New Jersey, there were several food banks that were designated, the biggest one being the Community Food Bank in Hillside. For people who don't know that organization, it's absolutely huge. They are the distribution organization for hundreds of other local soup kitchens, food pantries, et cetera. 1,500, I think, partner organizations that they have, and they moved over 44 million pounds of food last year.
It sounds like a lot, but we know the need is so great. And so many families in New Jersey are either hungry or don't know where their next meal is going to come from, food insecure, right?
So we offered the opportunity for people to make a donation and have that donation essentially be tripled by the fact that they could donate to the national organization, but designate it locally.
You know, finally, we're here in the Newark Museum. We talked about the corporate support and how that impacts the community. How in particular has this museum impacted the community in Newark and throughout New Jersey?
Well, you know, the Newark Museum is a really important cornerstone institution for Newark itself. It's been here for over 100 years. Just about every school child in New Jersey will come through the Newark Museum, and it's got a spectacular collection, a very wide-ranging collection from modern art all the way to textiles to Egyptian art, et cetera. It's really a spectacular gem that a lot of people in New Jersey overlook because we're in the shadow of New York City.
And because, frankly, Newark hasn't had the best reputation over the years, but this downtown area has been revitalizing over the last several years, and every reason for people to come out here? Absolutely.
It's beautiful. The park has been redone by the same group that did Bryant Park in New York City. You have a lot of new construction, a lot of redevelopment of the historic buildings. There's a lot going on that's great in Newark.
Every reason to come to the Newark Museum.
Absolutely.
Bob Doherty, New Jersey State President, Bank of America, thank you so much.
Thank you.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. And by the Newark Museum, in cooperation with NJTV and 13 for WNET. Funding for this special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato at Newark Museum has been provided by the New Jersey Education Association, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, University Hospital, Johnson & Johnson, Prudential Financial's Global Communications Department, the FIDELCO Group, and by the North Ward Center. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.